Hello and welcome to Essential's weekly roundup of news from across the union movement. The CFMEU is calling for a Senate inquiry into what big mining takes out of Australia and what it actually gives back. The latest focus is on the use of local Australian content, such as steel, used on major mining and construction projects. CFMEU National Secretary Michael O'Connor says the big mining companies don't even want to tell us how much Australian-made product they're using. They oppose royalty and tax increases, and they want to bring in temporary overseas workers. Meanwhile, the CFMEU is using the Minerals Council of Australia's own words against it in a new national TV commercial. With the federal election looming, the Minerals Council of Australia has gone into lobbying overdrive to undermine any attempts to have big miners put back a greater share of the mining boom into the Australian community. The CFMEU's ad, featuring snippets from the MCA's latest television commercial, calls out the MCA as corporate bullies who use insults and threats to get their way, leaving ordinary Australians as the losers. Take a look.
With the federal election looming, mining corporations are going to start throwing their weight around. They'll be condescending.
That's a really dumb idea.
They'll even threaten to abandon this country.
We lose projects to other mining countries.
If the mining corporations manage to slip out of paying their fair share, what they say might just come true.
Australians are losers.
The mining boom is Australia's boom. We've got a once-in-a-generation chance to spread it around.
For more information on the campaign, go to letsspreaditaround.com.au. A new report puts the spotlight on the real-life impact of inflexible workplaces on the lives of hundreds of Australian families. Launching the report Time to Care, ACTU President Jed Carney says Australians are suffering from outdated workplace cultures that fail to recognise the growing demands of work-life pressures. The ACTU will this week lodge a submission to the Fair Work Amendment Bill 2013, requesting an appeal process around the right to request family-friendly work arrangements. The AMWU has urged the federal coalition to pull back from plans to slash $2 billion from vehicle industry co-investment if elected. With the shock loss of 500 jobs at Holden, the AMWU is warning the rollback of assistance could be a fatal blow to car making in Australia as manufacturers struggle with the high dollar and subsidised imports. AMWU National Vehicles Division Secretary Dave Smith has urged the coalition to adopt a clear, responsible policy, recognising co-investment as essential to give GM, Ford and Toyota the long-term certainty they need to keep making cars here. And finally, the inaugural Hagar Ride Against Slavery, led by the First Bloke Tim Matheson, took place on Sunday. ACTU President Dave Oliver was also one of 30 motorcycle riders who travelled from Kirribilli House down to the lodge in Canberra to raise money for Hagar, a charity aimed at restoring the lives of women and children who have survived modern slavery and severe human rights abuse. And while it was a close call for the first man, hitting the curb close to the finishing line, the two-wheeled trip raised more than $40,000, enough to keep 60 Cambodian children in school for a year. Well, don't forget to send us your news tips and go to the Essential website to see our latest polling. I'm Emily Barker. I'll see you next time.